I want to bring in oil and gas expert Bob Cavnar now to talk more about what it is we know. Bob, good morning. Thank you so much for spending your morning with us. We know you were with us for most of the day Monday, so we do appreciate your time. Talk to us. Are you still surprised the flame is still burning?
No, not at all. They had to isolate a section. If I read right last night, it was about a 20-mile section, and that's 20-inch pipeline, according to the reports. So that's a lot of NGLs to burn off. So I'm not surprised at all that it's continued to burn. I am glad that the flame is down considerably from where it was last night.
Yeah, we could see that in Kathy's live shot this morning. Talk to us. Did we ever learn on where this pipeline was going to or coming from?
This part of the world is just spider web with all kinds of pipelines going to different facilities all along the Gulf Coast and all along the ship channel. I don't know specifically where this line was going, but 20 inch is a significant size supply line. It's probably going to gas plants and chemical plants, would be my guess. The product they were carrying was called Y-grade, which is a natural gas liquid. It's the heavier parts of natural gas, but it's unfractionated. So it's several different products in sort of a blend. And so that when they say Y-grade NGL, that's exactly what they mean. But it is natural gas liquids like propane, butane, isobutane, gasoline, those kinds of products.
And it was yesterday at 1:30 in the afternoon. We confirmed that right here in KPRC2 Plus during that news conference. With that said, Bob, are there any concerns when it comes to long-term effects?
Not really. If there's anything good about this incident, it's that it was NGL, because it burns relatively cleanly and it'll burn quickly. And one of the most important things to know about this kind of incident is that you really can't put the fire out, because the product will still be there. It's better just to let it burn off. And the atmospheric effects, even though it does put CO2 and other things into the air, it's not nearly as toxic as some of the other chemicals we've seen in fires in recent years around the Houston area.
We know the fire started because of that vehicle hitting that valve along Spencer Highway. Is there anything the company could have done to prevent a situation like this from happening?
These kinds of situations are very difficult to defend against. I mean, someone that is intentionally trying to damage surface facilities, infrastructure of companies like Energy Transfer, besides building heavier fences, it's pretty tough. You can build bollards around some kinds of facilities, but here, this far off the road, for someone to intentionally drive that far, knock down a fence and get into the facility with a car, that's pretty tough to defend against.
Moving forward, I'm sure a lot of folks are going to be in the knowing, right, when it comes to what's near their home, what's in these pipelines. What's your advice to homeowners or people concerned about this, checking to see what it is and how they can stay safe in an event like this were to happen?
In a town like Houston, Deer Park, LaPorte, and other cities around the chemical and petrochemical infrastructure facilities, it's important to know what is around your house. When you buy a house, you know, what right-of-ways are there, what pipelines are there. It's always good to be aware of what's around you and have just like preparing for hurricanes, you have an emergency box for something like that may happen. But the most important thing when an incident like this happens to homeowners that are nearby is to listen to the local authorities. And when they say evacuate, evacuate, and don't hesitate to do that.
You know, I asked you this once we learned new information, more information yesterday after that 1:30 news conference. Where's your head at, knowing what you know now? And I'm interested to know where your head's at this morning with everything that has developed within the past 22 hours.
Well, I'm really glad that there weren't any very serious injuries here. I am very concerned that someone intentionally did this. This has become a major problem for oil and gas companies that have infrastructure all over the country, not just here, where people are intentionally damaging, or sometimes people will have a car accident and run onto a pipeline, or just not know what they're close to. This area was very well signed. There's lots of warnings and fences. So it's something that the oil and gas companies are needing to address now, and they have been addressing it for some time to harden their facilities against outside vandalism and sabotage like this. I'm glad it was only an NGL line rather than a chemical line because the air quality issues would have been more serious. And I'm really glad that the fire department jumped all over this and kept those houses cool to minimize the damage of the houses nearby.
Yeah, you bring up a really great point when it comes to hardening this infrastructure. I know this has been a big story for our neighbors up in the Pacific Northwest with different types of public utilities up there. It will be interesting to see what happens here. Again, no confirmation as to how that car ended up within that parameter. That's information we're still waiting, but all really great points. Again, Bob Cavnar, thank you so much for your time the past 24 hours. We do appreciate you.